Hotep Senu Hena Senut E.T. Ren E. Shakandugu Kemet. I hope you're doing well. Let me check the sound first of all. It sounds like it's not that loud, so I'm going to try to speak louder than I normally would. You can see that I don't have my headset. The title of this video is Did the Exodus Happen? We have 7 people online. I wonder where they are located, because in America it's like 6 a.m. in New York, and it's probably 3 a.m. in LA. I think LA is 3 hours behind. Going to double check. I'm wondering if, yes, indeed, it's 3 a.m. in LA right now. So I'm wondering if those people who are watching are located in Europe or elsewhere. I have shared the invite link as usual. You can see it's in the chat. It's pinned at the top. Now, before I start talking about the Exodus, I want to get something out of the way. Hey, Hotep Sen E, what's going on, y'all? We're going to go to the basics. They want to talk about the slavery of the Hebrews before they even want to talk about whether the Hebrews were there in Kemet. They are skipping chronology. They are becoming time shifters. Oh, that's all good then. I'm glad you're here, brother. So let me get this out of the way. We'll have 8 people online now. So whenever I talk about the community, other people call it the timeline, and let me show you. Whenever I talk about searching within a channel, this is what I mean. Is it large enough? Yes, it's all right. Here, you see, when you search here, you're searching within the channel. If you search at the top, you're searching all over YouTube. So whenever I talk about the community, it is here. You see all the posts, right? But other people call it the timeline, and it's fine. So if you ever wonder where to find those posts, that's where you will find them. Blaya wrote the usual freestyling. Yes, they do freestyle a lot, you know. They freestyle a lot. I don't have any sources, but you know, that's what I'm stating. That's what I'm claiming. I'm used to this. It's nothing new. It's just that because it happened on a large platform, a lot of people had some emotional damage. So this is the, oh, and by the way, many people have informed me. Oh, we have Michelle. Okay. Welcome, Michelle. I'm going to put you on the panel. Greetings, Michelle. Feel free to speak.
Good morning. I'm in Georgia, I'm in Georgia, and it's 6 a.m. I just woke up. It's time to get ready for work, so I won't be able to stay long. Actually, you popped up on my phone. I just started following you recently. So just so you know, I'm very new. I'm quite the novice. I'm turning the light on here. I'm quite the novice. I don't really know very much about all of this stuff, but I'm extremely curious about it. For the past 3 years, I've been listening to Sonetta. Don't judge me. I just um I just discovered this on Netta TV, and I started watching and watching and watching for hours and hours and hours. Dr. Ben, James Small, Anthony Browder, just Henry Clark, all these people. I'm just listening. I'm just engulfed with this information, trying to decipher. And then, of course, I had to sit through listening to the Pharaoh and the Nature Boy and polite. You know, these are the people that I can't decipher who's real and who's not real, and I have to listen to all of them to try to figure out what do I need to know and what do I need to discard. And then I discover you. This was just a few days ago on Sonetta. You were on Sonetta, you know, going through that, and they were all beating you down. And then I was like, listen to this very nice sounding French dude. My God, who is this one? I've never heard him before in my life. I mean, obviously I'm new. So, but then I just started listening. So I've been listening to you for hours and hours and hours and hours now, you know, and Sekou and I can't remember the other gentleman that's on your platform, but I'm trying to. So when I saw this one pop up, I'm like, I don't really have time to be here, but I have to run around and get ready. I may have to jump off, but I just appreciate what you're putting out there. I feel like if I can learn this stuff properly, I can really then share it with some people that I want to share it with, family members and that sort of thing. I have not been a Christian for a while. I'm a Buddhist, just so I'll let you know the truth. I chant and I do that, and that helps me to bring out my best and my strength and my power and to feel, you know, good. So that's what I do. But the Jesus and all of that, I let that go when I was a teenager. Anyway, it's very, very nice to meet you.
Likewise, sister, I'm so happy that you called in, because many people are very shy and they don't call in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
sister,
I'm not really shy.
well, that's lovely. That's beautiful. Because did you have a chance to watch the video Kemet in Ma'at?
Which one?
The one is titled Kemet in Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's the main video on my channel. Use PC.
No, I hear you talk about it, but I watched this one about Christianity and something. It's a 46-minute video.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I've watched that one twice actually.
Oh,
yes, I've watched that one. I don't know what order to go in, so I just jump on the channel and look for something and start watching it. I fell asleep on the 7-hour one you had going on yesterday, right? So I woke up this morning and you were still talking, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I'll rewind it and catch up what I missed. But I'm studying right now also for my a certificate, like a degree. So I have a huge board exam to take in March. So I really need to not be reading your stuff right now and just focus on my stuff. But I'm absorbed. It's hard to put it down. It's like an addiction.
Yeah, I'm studying Egyptology at the university.
Egyptology?
Yes, I am, and it's time consuming indeed. You know, I've been showing it for years, and sometimes I try to take some time off, but it's difficult when I see all the misinformation being spread. But you know, sister, what I want to say, because I know you don't have much time, is if you are interested in information, I'm giving Medinature lessons classes. The video that you have seen on Canada is all right, by the way, because it's don't judge me. It's all right. Just some of the people who call in these platforms, sometimes they are kind of living in fantasy land, and then some content they can never back up. But it's not just on this platform, but it happens just on that platform or other people's platforms. So if you're wondering, you know, who's real, the most important is the records, the data, because even somebody that's far can say something that's accurate. So the video that you see on Sonetta, is it the one where I went to the Medinature, or is it the one?
Both.
Oh, both.
I saw
okay,
both.
well, that's beautiful.
I didn't know you did one on Medinature. I just happened to be looking again, and I saw a part of it. I didn't see the whole thing for the Medinature, but I saw a bit of that yesterday. And so you have to just really know what those symbols mean. They all have some corresponding letter or word that they mean, and so there's a lot of memorizing. But you know, I guess that's what it is for learning a language. I tried to learn French a long time ago, but
all right, okay. Well, I'm fluent in French.
I used to know someone from Gabon. I used to date someone.
Gabon, okay, all right, okay. Yeah. Well, you know, indeed, it takes memorization for the Medinature. Some symbols only have sounds. Some symbols mean something. You know, like the cat means cat. Horse means horse. Have a belief of that has a symbol of hawk, and it means life. Some people say it's a cent. Some people say it represents the euros. We might not be 100% sure. But if you know some people that want to learn the better lecture, then feel free to tell them. And if you have any questions, feel free, because you happen to catch me live, so manage.
Yeah. I'll think about that, and I might do that, but I probably wouldn't start until after March. I
No
can't
problem.
take on something
Like I
else.
said, it's not an obligation. It's really up to people who want to take it there. But
Sure.
do you have any questions at all that you've heard about, anything at all?
I have a ton of questions. I can't get through them right now. I'm
Try
gonna
to
have to
find
come
one.
off and get dressed and do all that
Oh,
stuff.
I understand.
But I have a ton of questions. I don't even know where to start. I didn't expect to see you this morning. I'm just in the bathroom getting ready to wash my face, and boom, it popped up on my phone, and I was like, "Oh my God, how do I get on here?" Anyway, it's what is your name again? I don't know if I knew that.
My name.
Yes, your name.
My name, you see, it's Shaka Ndugu.
Indugu, that's how you say that. Okay.
Yes, Shaka.
Well,
the English speakers, they tend to pronounce it Ndugu, but it's really Ndugu, but it's a bit difficult, for even French speakers as well, unless they are of African.
Right, Indugu. Yes, I dated a gentleman whose last name was like that. That's the N and the
yes.
Anyway,
in some African languages, you do have two consonants following each other. In Cameroon, there's a lot of surname or last name that start with two consonants at the beginning as well. But many people call me Ma'ak or Ma'af forever because it's the name of my channel, you see.
Okay, I got it. Shaka is good. Oh, and that's the other one, Shaka Amos. When I saw your name on there, I thought, is that Shaka's? How is he connected to Shaka Amos? And I realized you just have the same first name. You're 1K, he's 2Ks. I get it.
Yeah. And that's why it's good
that
you just don't have one name, because if it's just Shaka, then people might be confusing. But his full name, like you said, is Shaka Amos. My name is Shaka Ndugu, and he's a good brother. He's been solid. I mean, I first spoke to him more than a decade ago, and we probably spoke like over all this period. So we kind of somehow still remained in contact, and I really appreciate his information. There's not many people who's been solid and maintained what because we are a minority.
Right.
In my book,
right. So I'm gonna go now, but one thing I want to clarify, because so many people are now coming back and saying this person was wrong, and like I've heard you talk about Sheikh Anta Diop. I actually bought one of his books on my Audible. Civilization, barbar, something. Anyway, something, one of those.
Civilization or barbarism.
Yeah. So, now I'm hearing, he's pseudo, because of course the Amun-Ra squad and all these other folks are out here. And Garfield, I heard you talking about Garfield yesterday.
Garfield is a clown, but keep going, sister. I can explain why.
I wanted to like him because I'm Jamaican too. So I said,
everything.
He's got to know the truth. Wagwan. Your man, he must know what.
Garfield a rascal, liar.
And then next thing we know, I'm gonna talk fuckery, and I say, what is no? Anyway.
Well, sister, I don't have any hate towards Garfield. My main issue, despite all the pseudo claims he makes, he said live on air, the video, maybe you he said that he has a badge.
I heard.
And he show it publicly, which is. And the other day, he also claimed that he received millions of dollars from a family member after somebody passed on. And I really don't believe that it was millions of dollars, but I'm not too concerned about that. It's just being a habitual liar. As far as I'm concerned, I'm saying to everybody, as long as he doesn't show his in history, he's a fraud and he's lying. Now, on top of that, he's defending pseudo people. His master teacher is a known plagiarizer, a serial plagiarizer. I plagiarized several books from several countries, and I nicknamed him Asahim of Faith, who claims to be a linguist and a historian. So we have an ecosystem of falsehood. He's not the only fraud. He's running with other frauds as well. And it's problematic because we're in an era where we should be accurate. It doesn't matter if we're not. We should be accurate. I don't want to monopolize. Keep going, sister.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna call you another time. I'm just happy that I'm getting the notification because this is my first time getting your notification. So, and I didn't realize I don't know any StreamYard. This is new. These are all new kinds of things. So it's not complicated though, so I can do it.
I would
I
recommend you,
appreciate
sister.
what you're doing.
Yes,
Pardon me?
just before you go, I would recommend that you subscribe to my Twitter. And basically it's the same as my my channel name, Mark Forever, because sometimes
Mod
in
Forever.
YouTube you will not get you will not get the notification. Not everybody gets the notification, you know. And I
Okay.
was about to say that before you called me. So thank you very much for calling in. You're always welcome, and make notes of your questions if you want to. I don't mind questions, and if I don't know, I will tell you I don't know.
I will. I'll definitely start jotting some stuff down, and I look at your. Is this Mod Forever on Twitter, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, all in one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm on Twitter, so I'll look you up.
Because every time I go live, I put the link.
Send a tweet first.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, I'm Michelle, as I said, and it's really great to meet you.
Likewise,
You're doing
sister.
great work. I'm glad I finally found some way to kind of slice through the foolishness and stay on course. And because I don't have time for a lot of nonsense. I'm old, so I don't have time for a lot of nonsense. I just want to get to the truth. Anyway, I have a good. I'll keep listening, but I'm gonna pop off so I can get
I
ready.
understand. Thank you very much.
All right. Yes. Yes. All right. Au revoir.
Au revoir. Au revoir, myself. All right. Okay, brothers and sisters. So, indeed, there was some echo. I could hear it. Thank you for informing me, Brother Blaya. The sister obviously had whatever device it was she was using, probably her phone. It must have been on speakerphone, you know. And if it was a laptop, then she did not have any headset. So, for those who don't know, this is what happens when you're not using a headset, or when you have so it's best if you can have a headset or a mic, or earrings, but whenever it's on speakerphone, this is what tends to happen. So if you ever hear me using a Jamaican accent, brothers and sisters, and I've said it before, I'm not making fun of Jamaican people. I lived in England. I was with some Jamaican people. They showed me much love, and I haven't changed. I'm the same. So I try to refrain from doing that, but this time I wasn't. But sometimes people will use anything to go against you, and they're creating narratives, So Marcus Garvey came from Jamaica. I don't know what foundational Black Americans, FBA people would say. I don't know what Tariq Nasheed would say. I don't know what some other people would say when they try to come, oh, you don't live here, you're not from here. But Garvey is he's a giant, and he came from Jamaica. Dr. Ben was not born in America either. Sometimes people have talking points, but it's all good. It's all good. It is what it is. People are free to make their talking points, like we are free to agree or disagree. But the sister raised an important point: how to get to the truth. And when it comes to history, even ancient history, we do have records. And as a matter of fact, you see the title of this video: did the Exodus happen? We're going to deal with that today. We're going to ask ourselves some questions. But like I was saying, I wanted to show something first. I want to get something out of the way. The community now, or the timeline on YouTube. You see, I've just shared 9 minutes ago. Well, if I refresh the page, you would say 20 minutes ago. But I've shared this live stream as I usually do. And here, I've shared this link here to that video entitled Kwanzaa Creator is a Demented Felon Who Savagely Tortured Two Naked Women. Now, let's look at the comments here. You can see the first comment is from our brother Sekou, that I have defended Brother Sekou when somebody was not really on point. But I try my best to say that somebody, for the time being, I like that person. Before, I was not a fan, and now he's different. I don't know how long it would last. But check this out. He wrote, let me see if it's large enough. Yes, it is large enough. That's good. Okay. He wrote, I missed this show. He might have thought that this was a live stream of mine, but it wasn't a live stream of mine. It's somebody else's video. That person has 105,000 subscribers. And you see the account name is T's Hot Mess History. TI''S and then Hot Mess History. That video has 52,000 views, and it was uploaded 11 months ago. And it's a good timing because we're in December, and at the end of the year, people will celebrate Kwanzaa, which is a plagiarized version of the Jewish holiday Hanukkah. It is not African. Anyway, Sekou wrote, I missed this show. But I am fan of Kwanzaa. I don't care who created it. The idea is perfect for Black people. We use a lot of technology created by racists, so what's the point here? So on that comment alone, I can make a lot of commentary. Now, him being a fan of Kwanzaa, fine. I understand the information. Many people are fans of Kwanzaa, but they don't know about Kwanzaa itself being a plagiarized version of a Jewish holiday presented as an African celebration. So that's fraudulent to claim that this is an African festival or holiday. Secondly, many people who celebrate Kwanzaa don't know that the founder, the creator of Kwanzaa, has tortured Black women, not just one. And it doesn't mean that if it was just one, people will say, oh, well, you know, he only tortured one woman, you know, it's all good, we give him a pass. But for the record, too, there's other stuff, but you know, they're going to say, that's COINTELPRO. But I have already played, and I will play again so people can see it for the record. So people can see for the record the seriousness. Because besides those two women tortured, there's the issue of him being accused of worked as an informant, FBI informant, an agent against the Panthers. 2 Panthers were killed. And who made these accusations? People who are close to him. And then there's a question about what happened to those women exactly. Were they tortured and also raped? Now let's listen to Dale Jones. Dale Jones is no longer with us. But it's safe to say that he was quite respected in what we will call the conscious community. If you hear me say CC, then it's an abbreviation for conscious community. So I'm going to mute my mic and play this. Available, as you can see on YouTube. All right, up.
We haven't brought closure to Karinga. We let him build a holiday. The same one who set up Black Panthers in ambushes at UCLA and other places. The same one who tortured his wife and another woman brutally, sticking bottles in their vagina, using electrical shocks, And the FBI saved him.
So you've heard it, and you have the link in the chat. People, you know, MCs act like they don't know. Oh, I don't know. I didn't know. Oh, for real? Really? Oh, where? There it is. From the horse's mouth. This is what Dale Jones said. But you know what some people say? You need to separate the man from his work. Now, when someone says, I don't care who created it, if Adolf Hitler would have created Kwanzaa, who will celebrate Kwanzaa? We say, well, you know, Adolf Hitler, he did some bad stuff, but, you know, he created some African holiday. So it is a perfect idea for black people. Who will say that? Kwanzaa is perfect for black people. Is Christianity perfect for black people? Is Islam perfect for black people? Is Judaism perfect for black people? Is Kemetic way of life or science or Ma'at, some people say, perfect for black people? I never hear anybody say that those things are perfect for black people. But Kwanzaa is perfect for black people? Really? Then the next sentence, we use a lot of technology created by racists. You know, a lot of time, you know, it's a cliche. You have people of European descent. When you talk about reparations, when you talk about black history, they like to say, well, hey, you guys, you go on the plane, you use the phone, you use the car. I mean, we could play that game and talk about the world without black inventors. You've seen these messages floating around for years. But what's the point? Where is that? Where is the logic in this statement, this kind of talking point? So a dude's going to rape a woman and give her some money. Oh, I give her money. Or he's going to rape a lot of women and build a road in their villages. As well, I build. Yeah, they're using the technology there that they're going to build a bridge or two, and say, well, but you're using this technology. You're criticizing him, but you're still using the bridge. You're still using his technology. If you're all the way, then you should not use the bridge. Is this the kind of talking points that we're going to make in 2022? But that's not all. You know, everybody's free to. I'm just asking questions. You notice I'm asking questions. You know, people are free to do what they want. People are free to do what they want. And, you know, so I replied, technology is not a spiritual system, nor a cultural ritual. The point is that you are probably not aware that you have been celebrating a plagiarized version of the Jewish holiday Hanukkah. And then I gave the link to Dr. Mukasa Africa Ma'at's article called Karenga's Hunting Ghost. And I'm going to share it in the chat. Because MCs act like they don't know. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know. Where? Oh. Molana Karenga's Hunting Ghost by Mukasa Africa Ma'at. He wasn't a PhD when he wrote this article. He is now a PhD. He earned his doctorate degree. And I asked him, so now, Brother Sekou, what will you do? And Brother Sekou replied, the Jewish argument is a complete joke for two reasons. One, the creator of Kwanzaa says nothing about Jews. So this talking point is in defense of that fraud celebration called Kwanzaa. But he has the right to make arguments to defend that. He plagiarized the Jewish holiday Hanukkah. So of course he's not going to talk about the Jews, or Hanukkah is not going to tell people I plagiarized it from Hanukkah. I mean, these talking points, we are in 2022, brothers. Let's do better. We can do better than this. His purpose was to create a Pan-African holiday. So now it's no longer an African holiday, it's a Pan-African holiday. Everybody has a right to create an African holiday or Pan-African holiday, but if they plagiarize from some other holiday, then it is fraudulent, unless they say, I plagiarized from it or I was inspired from it, but that is not the case. Brother Sekou, you are studying at the university, didn't you say that? So you are also supporting plagiarism now? Are you, Brother Sekou? Two, what's wrong with borrowing good ideas from Jews? If somebody is borrowing ideas from anyone, Jews, Christians, Muslims, atheists, the list is that he says so. Don't present something and then act like you did not have any borrowing whatsoever. And Sekou added, didn't the whole world borrow from Kemet? As Christmas is not unique to Christianity, so are most holidays. What matters is your purpose of doing it. Then he added, invite me for a discussion this weekend. Then I told him, plagiarizing is not borrowing. You claim to be a Diopian, but Diop was not ignoring facts. Karenga copied a Jewish holiday and presented it as an African celebration. You said that you are Kemetic, but yet you are celebrating and promoting an Abrahamic holiday. I wouldn't have expected that from you. And lastly, this is what I wrote. On another note, before you typed your comments, you didn't watch the video in full and you didn't read the article I've posted in my response. You didn't read the entire article I've posted in my response, did you? Do you support Karenga knowing that he tortured women? I heard you criticizing Kemetic people for having traditional practices, so I'm curious to see if you would defend someone who tortured black women. Even Dr. John Henry Clark criticized Karenga publicly for his horrible actions. So now I'm curious as to what your answer will be. Let's see if you criticize some Kemetic people for harming a chicken while not criticizing Karenga for torturing black women. Yes, our dear brother Sekou, the last time he came on my platform, he talked about Kemetic people. They saw some Kemetic people in Africa having some sort of ritual where a chicken is killed. That was a problem to him. So I can't wait to see our brother Sekou's answer regarding Karenga torturing a black woman. Even if he says, I still want to celebrate Kwanzaa, I don't care if he's plagiarized from the Jewish holiday. Will you, for the record, criticize Karenga for torturing black women or not? Because then there will be a problem. There will be a big problem. Then I will ask myself some questions about what is our brother's motive. So I'll leave it there. I can't wait for the answer. Because a chicken being harmed as part of some traditional, I mean, Sekou had a problem with traditional practices in Africa. That's not going to help us or help us get anywhere. And I mean, he can expound on the rest. That was on my platform. I'm not lying. He cannot deny it's on tape. But he doesn't have a problem with the Jewish holiday Hanukkah being plagiarized. And I have yet to hear criticism. Now, if people want to say that was the past, that was a long time ago, we shall usually hear when Pan-Africans mess up and rape women, children, steal, and lie, and all these other stuff. This is not directed at Sekou, but all Pan-Africans, or even if they are non-Pan-African, CC members. Anybody that talks about black talk. Anybody that talks about black people. Nation of Islam, 5%, National Guards of Earth, Moorish Science Temple of America, Black Hebrew Israelites, Black Christians for the few that talk that black talk, Black Muslims, whether they are from the NOR or not, Ahmadiyya members, the whole yard. Black atheists, the whole yard. Even the Riparianites, if they want to engage in discussion, but we don't really hear about them lately. We only hear about the groupie monkey moderators now, because there's no accountability, so they are clowning and behaving like monkeys on chats. There's no accountability. What is the expiration date? What is the time period when we can say, oh, that's it? That was 2 years ago. It's not done deal. We don't talk about it anymore. I'm just curious. What is the time period when somebody's messing up and then say, oh, no, that was a long time ago? Is it 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, 20 years? I'm just curious, so I know. Because best believe if I torture some black woman, oh my goodness, I will have a field life, not a field year, not a field week, not a field decade, but a field life. But some people, for some strange reason, they get a pass. They can torture black women, they get a pass because they wrote a nice book, or because they speak well, or because they created a so-called perfect Pan-African holiday, which is plagiarized. I'm just curious, so if somebody can answer that question in their own time, they don't have to do it now. I'm not expecting an answer now. The video will be up. I digress. So now when it comes to the Exodus, if we have some, or anybody anyway, that believes or that argues that the Exodus happened, then can they please come and show us the evidence, the archaeological evidence? It's so good to read books and to name authors, but what are the records? What are the data? Now, what I have produced, and you know what, for the record, for those who want to act like they don't know, I'm just going to share my intervention or participation on Sanada Studios. And you have an example of people making claims, but they are not able to back it up. That they've been teaching for years, for decades. Some of them have been teaching this stuff for half a century, for more than 50 years. You have the link there. What are the records? Where is the data? Now, in that video that I have shared, I've shown some Canaanites or Hyksos. And for those who wonder, why do you say that the Hyksos are Canaanites? First, years ago, I've shared that video, White Semites Black Awakening. I don't need to share the link in the chat because it is in the description of this video as well as all the other videos. White Semites Black Awakening. And in that book, I think it's the Oxford Encyclopedia of, I mean, I can show it again, but you know what, for the record, you know, some people are going to say, well, he did not give the name of his source. So I'm going to show you the book. This is what I will do. Those people go to their places of worship. They repeat the same thing over and over again, and it's not a problem. And if people keep repeating lies, then we have to keep repeating the truth. All right? So, and I'm still going to share the link. People had a wake-up call. 3 hours. 3 hours. And we have Hebrew Israelites who've been teaching their stuff, their doctrine, for years, for decades, couldn't even show one source. White Semites Black Awakening, were Semites black in ancient times? Question mark. You have the link. And now I'm showing you the video. In 2011 or something. That's when I made that video. Let's see which book it is. There it is. The Oxford Encyclopedia of Archaeology in the Near East, Volume 1. Edited by who? Eric M. Myers, editor-in-chief. All right? That's just the title of a scholar. That's just the title of a book. Some of you may argue. So, as we move on, and it's about minute 16, page 410, Canaanites. Here, the artifact from Leiden. Canaanites, relief showing Canaanite vassals from the Memphis tomb of General Horemheb at Saqqara, 18th dynasty. That's a museum in Leiden in the Netherlands. Some people say Holland. I actually took that picture myself, not from the book, of course, but I couldn't make a video because in that museum we are not allowed to film, but we can take pictures. What's next? Next page 411. Just to make sure you can see it again. Canaanites, page 411. Boom. The reproduction, not the original, the reproduction of Beni Hassan's painting from the tomb of Khnum-Hotep. Khnum-Hotep. This is a reproduction of an original that is still available till this day. Look at the Egyptian in front and the Hyksos behind him. And for the record, the word Hyksos is spelled here. Okay? So what does it say at the bottom? Canaanites copy of a mural from a tomb at Beni Hassan. Semitic tribes people dressed in colored strip costume asked permission, the strip costumes, permission to enter Egypt, dated to the 19th century BCE, 1900 BC. Almost 4,000, well, really nearly 4,000 years ago. Some of you may argue, oh, hold on. At the top, it says Canaanite. But there, the legend says, or the description says, Semitic tribes people, right? Semitic. Then the video before last that I've made, I've shown from the British Museum that the Hyksos are labeled as people of Palestinian descent. I've already shown that. And when I said the video the day before last, I just played a video that I have uploaded like years ago. Now, that's the British Museum. And there was another source where they said that the Hyksos were Canaanites, but I'm just not remembering it right now. But there were three sources. There was a book edited by Eric M. Myers. There was the British Museum description about the Hyksos. And there was another one, but it might come back to me. And you know what? I'm curious, actually. So there's no callers, so I use the time now. White Semites Black Awakening. Now, let's see. I think it's that video. Amin Rakams from India. That video is really 5 hours long. So that's the British Museum, where it says that the Hyksos are of Palestinian descent. And what was the other source? There was another one. Okay, I have the link here for the British Museum. Hold on. There it is. I'm going to put it in the chat. You know, I might have to take time and have all these links in one file. I can share them all the time. Have them handy. I have 18 people online. We have many Hebrew Israelites who came here to learn today. They came here to get that work. No, they came here to get that knowledge, not that work. Because it was an embarrassment that for 3 hours, they could not even substantiate their doctrine. So you have the link there. Now I'm looking for the other part where it is stated that the Hyksos. Oh, there it is. That's Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica. So it's going to be very easy to share. Britannica Hyksos. So if you want to discard the book edited by Eric Myers, because you might argue, okay, it says Canaanites, but on the other part, it says Canaanites on the one from Horemheb from the Leiden Museum. But the one from Beni Assad, it says Semitic tribes people. If you want to discard that, fine, no problem. We have the British Museum and we have Encyclopedia Britannica. And I'm sharing the link. And I will still show the page for the record. Why not? Encyclopedia. There it is. All right. So if I do this, oh, let me put the Hyksos. Now, Hyksos dynasty of what? Palestinian origin. I don't think any Hebrew Israelite or non-Hebrew Israelite will argue that Palestine is not Canaan. I don't even think somebody's going to go there. You know, I mean, I've heard a good brother elder say that when God wrote the law on the tables given to Moses on Mount Sinai, the language was the Medu-Neter. I've heard that already. I'm hearing so many different stuff, but I don't think somebody's going to say, no. Palestine is not Canaan. I don't think I will hear that. You know, I already heard somebody talking about the tribe of the Elamite tribe of Horus or whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? But anyway. So all this to say that I have shown some depictions of Canaanites. 3 hours, not a single depiction of black Canaanites. So my question here, we have 15 people online. Since all those Hebrew Israelites and non-Hebrew Israelites were kind of defending and speaking out on the fate and mistreatment, on the human right abuse imposed on those poor Canaanite invaders, are they white supremacists? You know, I was tempted I hesitated to entitle this video White Supremacists, Black Hebrew Israelites? Or are Hebrew Israelites white supremacists? But I know they are not. It would have been a title for shock value to make you think. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to avoid that. Let's put, did the Exodus happen? But I'm asking this question. Just like I asked, was Abraham the first deadbeat dad? We can wonder, we can ask a question. Hagar, his servant, notice they don't say slave there, his servant, is basically thrown at him by his wife Sarah, who could not bear a child at the time. Go with my servant. We don't know if she said, yeah, I'm cool with that. And nobody's going to say, oh, that's rape. It was a forced sexual intercourse. Where are the Hebrew Israelites' statement regarding that situation? Did Hagar have a say? But regardless, Sarah's pregnant. I'm sorry, Hagar is pregnant. She's looking at Sarah sideways. Sarah's like, the nerve of you, you peasant. So she goes and complains to Abraham and he says, that's your servant, you do what you want with her. So what does she do? She chased her out of the house, kick her out of the house. And she's pregnant, mind you. They knew she was pregnant. That's the reason why she was acting up. She was brand new. I went from servant, not to say slave, I went from servant to bearing the child of the master of the house. What an update. What an upgrade. What a come up, as we will say today. He like, man, hey, you do what you want with that. I'm chilling right now. I don't have time for this. I have other servants that I'm digging right now. I'm on some healing and quitting tip. So I'm just wondering, I'm just asking the question, could we say that Abraham was the first deadbeat dad? So now the other question is, since we know, since he has been established so far, whether you accept it or not, you can deny the fact. If some people want to say that the people that have shown are not white people or Caucasoids, then be my guest. But since those Canaanites, Hyksos were white people, they are non-black, not black people, then can we say, or should we say, or should we wonder, or should we ask the question, are the black Hebrew Israelites white supremacists? Are the Hebrew Israelites, we don't need to say black. Are you aware of any non-black people who call themselves Hebrew Israelites? Are Hebrew Israelites white supremacists? What do they go out of their way to speak in favor of these invaders? When in history have we heard people talking in favor of their invaders if it's not for the Abrahamic believers? I'm sure some of you have heard some black folks who say, okay, it was slavery, but thanks to slavery, I know about the Lord. I know about the Bible. I know about Jesus Christ. I know about Yahweh. I'm sure some of you have heard it. I heard it myself. And it hurts to hear that. Making excuses. Making excuses. So since those guys have been having that doctrine, and not only the Hebrews were like the Christians as well, and the Muslims as well. Well, let's have a talk. Did the Exodus happen? Where are the records? Where is the data? Where is the archaeological data that allows us to say that the Exodus happened? Where is it? Where is it? Give it to me. Show it to me. I'm waiting. Before they want to talk about mistreatment and human rights violation and all these things, I mean, we heard those Hebrew Israelites like they tried. You have to give it to them. They did the best they could. And for those who will have the courage to come here and have a discussion with me, you will have to show your face. You will not have the avatar, so you can be on the phone and sending messages and getting instructions, because that's what they do most of the time. They're not the only one who've been doing that. They act so deep and thorough, but they don't want you to see that they're getting instructions. And for the Hebrews or like leaders, it's not a good look to send your followers to get slaughtered like that during debates and discussions. You guys should stand up to the plate. And if you don't want to stand up to the plate, having discussion because you might look bad and it's a bad look for you because you are the leaders, you are leaders of organizations, then at least teach your people right. When you are aware, even if you don't send them directly, when you are aware that your people go online in front of the whole world to make claims, at least give them the tools to back up their claims. That's the least you can do. Everything that I've been teaching over the years, nobody will make fun of you. There's levels to this. There's a difference. Some people didn't know me. It's cool. The most important is the information, the data. So let's get to the basics before we talk about slavery in Kemet. Since it's the Hebrews / Hyksos / Canaanites / Asiatics that were allegedly enslaved in Kemet, then let's establish if they were there, as the narrative says. We have 20 people online. We must have many Hebrews or lights in the place to be. But they don't want to call in because they know how to get down. They know that their talking points of talking without showing and proving with archaeology doesn't fly here, but they're free to make these claims here. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. For all those years, well, you know, if you read in the book of so-and-so, where he says, okay, fine. Well, can you show me the original record? Can you show me the artifact? Well, the scripture says, okay, fine, I know, I heard that. Yeah, thank you very much. Now, records, please. Well, the scripture says, okay, what is the publishing date for that book? Well, it's 1982. Homie, we're talking about 1500 BC. You're telling me about 1982? Do you know what archaeology is? Do you know what history is? Have you ever heard of that field? Three hours, you know, that reminds me of something. We have 21 people online now. 3 hours, that reminds me of the time Smash Rockwell and I moonwalked on some riparian nights. And I'm being kind. I'm just saying riparian nights. For 3 hours, we moonwalked on them. We did all the dance styles in existence in the planet Earth. We break dance on them. So easy. So easily. Because they have claims that they cannot back up. So, brothers and sisters, the moral of the story is you don't need to make claims. You don't have to make claims. It's not an obligation. You can quote facts. You can quote scholars, experts, PhDs, people who have some degrees, even if it's not PhDs, master's degree, or people who show you the original artifact. Yes. Or you can show the original artifacts yourselves. You have them on some websites, preferably the universities that hold the artifacts, or, of course, the museum that holds those artifacts. We have 24 people online. New member, welcome to you, our Storeworth. Welcome to the world of facts. What is facts? I mean, welcome to the world of truth. What is truth? Truth is facts. Some people say truth is relative. No, truth is facts. Welcome. So there's so many museums where I want to go. Some of you live nearby some museums. Go there for yourself. Go to the part of ancient Egypt if they have enough artifacts regarding this civilization, and if they have artifacts regarding what we call the Levant, Mesopotamia, Sumer, Akkad, Canaan, and Arabia, if they have some artifacts. Look at their phenotype. But of course, you know, you heard some people say, oh, you cannot tell somebody's phenotype, but look, you cannot tell somebody's ethnicity or race by just looking by the phenotype. So if I look at George Bush Jr., I don't know what his ethnicity is. I'm wondering, what could it be? What could George Bush Sr. be? No. He might be an African. He might be from the Congo. For real, man. Come on now. All these years, it's been whack talking points. It's been so-called scholarship without backing it up with archaeology, and they're talking about ancient history. Did the Exodus happen, brothers and sisters? We should have had so many people getting on the... Hey, some people say, I didn't know I could get on the panel. There it is. Second link. 1 billion Christian. 1 billion Christians. 1 billion Muslims. Christians / Catholics. 2 billion people at least. It should be flooded with people saying, well, you know, the Exodus happened. We have this record, and it says this. We have that record, and it says this. 23 people online now. 2 billion people at least who believe in this Abrahamic narrative. Where are the records? I don't want to be in opposition with you guys. I don't want you guys to hate me. We're talking history. Belief, theology, you believe in that book? Fine. Fine. You have the right to. But cultural appropriation is not cool. Some people just happen to have some emotional damage because they were used to, I'm reading this book, I'm quoting this book, according to these books, I'm doing this so-called genealogy, blah, 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 the sons of Ham, the sons of Canaan, blah, blah, blah. This tribe here followed such and such God, which means that they were black. Now, R. Stallworth wrote, Hotep appreciated brother, Dr. York, I'm sorry, Dr. York, at work, so listening in the background. Thank you for becoming a member. For those who wonder, it's $3 a month. And I don't have your personal information. All I can see is the name that you have chosen for yourself on YouTube, your username. Google handles that. When I said that, the personal information, I don't know your first name. I don't know your surname or last name. I don't know your email address. I don't know any financial details whatsoever. So don't be scared, you will not die. Because most of the so-called warriors and revolutionaries, most of them are anonymous and unidentified. Online, that is. They're scared of so many things. If you talk, they're going to get you. You're going to die. Every time somebody dies, it's the man that's behind it. $3 per month. That's $36 per year. Now, I think it's a good deal. I think it's good business because those guys who've been studying for decades and teaching for decades, over 3 hours, you can see how weak they are. It's a new day now. And the nerve of them to discriminate people. Now, we had another pseudo claim. Oh, I didn't know. You know what? I thought about putting the video excerpt, but then I'm like, in a way, it will kind of be some advertisement for the dude. Because people are going to wonder, who is it? And they're going to say, oh, it's so and so. But one of the latest pseudo claim, Amen-Ra comes from India. And that's what some people pay for or support in 2022. Amen-Ra comes from India. He said it twice. I played it already. That's the title of the video. Amen-Ra comes from India, according to a pseudo Hebrew Israelite. I uploaded it not long ago. You will find it on my channel. What are you going to tell your children, brothers and sisters, when they're going to say, hey, yo, Dad, can I holler at you, please? Yo, Dad, I mean, you know, you got some explaining to do, Dad. Now, I saw you with all those pseudos teaching that Amen-Ra comes from India, and you were cool with them saying, wow, powerful information. Thank you for the teaching. Man, your son's going to tell you, I'm disappointed at you, Dad. You know, I hope by now you stepped your game up. I mean, it's embarrassing. Now, if some of you stand up to the plate and say, look, man, you know, I like you, man, but what you said is pseudo. Now, your children, son or daughter, will be proud. You know, Dad, I saw that video that you did back in the days, and that guy had the nerve to say that Amen-Ra comes from India, and he told you, look, man, you know, I'm cool with you, but that thing is pseudo. I'm so proud of you, Daddy. I'm so proud of you, Mommy. But no. Can you imagine how horrible the black community looks? And don't be focused on white-skinned people. There's all sorts of people who are non-black. You know? Like Chinese people looking at the black community. Amen-Ra comes from India. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna bounce, but you know, just for the record, just for those who found out about me, you might be thinking, well, you know, oh, he don't like anybody. I don't like falsehood. And before I close, I'm going to give you examples of falsehood that's being taught, accepted, defended, applauded, and it's unacceptable. And Kwanzaa, in my eye, is unacceptable as long as it is presented as an African holiday, knowing that it was plagiarized from Hanukkah. Now, when I say they've been dissing us long enough, first you're going to listen to somebody that holds a PhD. Listen to what he said about Kemet in Ma'at.
The railway never being built. Wrote Kemet if you want to get off sensitive
Come on, go ahead.
about blacks, conquering blacks, throw Maya in the trash can, throw Alvin Rock, the slave making God away.
You see, in 1 minute, you can definitely tell what sentiment that person has towards Kemet and Ma'at. Now, Garfield was mentioned earlier by the good sister from Jamaica. Now, Garfield, when he came on my platform for the first time, this is what he said about Kemet.
Kemet is the greatest empire in history. You don't need to compare. If anybody want to compare, like, we trying to get to Kemet level. Kemet is number one. So we comparing it to other religions is basically saying, hey, we could compare with them. No, we got 3,000 years of documented history. Show me a culture that could show you that. Sumer can't do it. Mesopotamia can't do it. Assyria can't do it. Persia can't do it. The Greeks can't do it.
I agree with Garfield when he says that. I like that Garfield. That was the Garfield that knew where he was. He was on my platform. He wasn't on his platform with pseudos that be cheerleading and clapping for him. Now, some of you are supporting, giving money, donations, supporting, spending your time, energy to defend anti-Black teachings like this one.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair. Because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, you know, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks, because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black, but they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight.
Yes, sir.
Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. And this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
The disfigurement, not only essence of ugliness, but disfigurement. Now, our brother Storworth was asking, who is that? The one who said, throw Kemet in the garbage can, throw him out in the trash can, throw Amen rather slave making God away, is called Dr. Wesley Muhammad, PhD. His real government name, and I'm not just revealing something that's hidden. He had a website called Dr. Wesley Williams, but he took on the name Muhammad, and he is a minister of the Nation of Islam. When he made those statements, he was not a minister of the Nation of Islam, but he was a PhD in Islamic studies. And all Kemetic people, you know, they do the belly dance. Not just for him, but for the NOR in general. Many, I don't know if I should say most Kemetic people, so-called Kemetic people, are not solid. But it's going to change now. We're going to bring manhood back. I'm not saying go to war. I'm saying be a man and say I disagree. It's wrong to say that. Can you imagine if we said the same thing about the Quran and Allah? It's a bit unfair there. So here are some other pseudo claims, and this time it will be much shorter. How about 6 seconds?
Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text.
How about 5 seconds?
The God Allah is an indigenous African God.
How about 8 seconds?
These Hebrews, you know, saying come from and who they are specifically, you know, because based upon my research, these are African people.
This is ASCAC approved, apparently. You can ask ASCAC. You don't have a problem having guys like that who plagiarize from several books in several different languages, who said that Dr. Diop was wrong and Dr. Diop guessed and making all those pseudo claims. This is ASCAC approved. Now, the university, which one was it again? Temple University, they're like, oh, no, we don't want that. You know, you're supposed to present over there under the banner of, what is it? The Diopian Institute. So somehow, some way, it looks like it didn't happen. But ASCAC, you know, hey, you're free to do anything you want. Now, how about 8 seconds? I don't know if I played that one actually, but never mind.
Hebrews, you know, saying come from and who they are specifically, you know, because based upon my research, these are African people.
How about 6 seconds?
This is how we know that the Hebrews, first of all, you got to understand that Hebrew is an African language.
How about 6 seconds, but another one?
Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language.
Now, here's the guy claiming to have a bachelor's degree in history, but won't show it publicly.
So, but why is the Hebrew?
NOR. I don't talk about the NOR, but I talk about the Black Hebrew Israelites because, all right, my mom is a history teacher.
Okay.
I love history. I have a bachelor's degree in history.
Okay.
So history is nothing new to me. That's what I do.
All right. Normally I put the outro, but I don't have enough battery. So I'm going to say, stay safe, stay healthy. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I don't argue, I state facts. Dua itu dua ni ceru. Hotep.